there for housekeeping. My name is Jauregui. I'm an architect from Austin, Texas. Came over here to Virginia to do this presentation, and I'm very pleased to be speaking to you today about residential design and build. To tell you a little bit about our company. Our company operates in Austin, Houston, and Dallas, Texas. And one of the reasons that we have offices in all three cities, the company started about 30 years ago in Austin, Texas, and have been involved in high-end residential design. And one of the things that I noticed as I started operating, of course, what used to be the high-end design up in Austin, Texas back in the early 80s was somewhere about $500,000 was a pretty magnificent residence back in those years. And as the years and the decades kind of kept creeping up, that price range kept moving up tremendously. And also I started realizing that there was a fairly small piece of the pie to the overall residential part of the market. So that's one of the reasons also I started expanding to other cities to be able to capture some of that market. We do have offices in 2 of those cities, in Houston and Austin, and we do several projects in Dallas, and we work those with just the construction crews, typically trailers and sites and such. But we're fairly centralized in our operation in Austin, Texas. Our architectural office, or part of the office, is mostly located in Austin. We do have some architects also that operate in our Houston office. We do have interior designers, they're part of our team, and of course all the entire construction infrastructure of estimators, purchasing department, and superintendents, they're part of our construction company. I'm going to go ahead and show you a few samples of the work that we do. We have approximately, right now we're at about 28 employees. During the recession, we cut back a little bit about 4 years ago, but we're building back up. We just got done rehiring several people. Again, this is the type of projects that we're doing. It's mostly the high-end market in those cities. These particular houses, it's a lake house in the north of Houston, Texas. This last one actually belongs to the brother of Michael Dell from Dell Computers there in Austin. This is Andy Roddick's house, tennis pro, that we just finished this house for Andy and Brooklyn Decker. You might be familiar with the couple, but last year. And this is a house in Dallas, Texas, for a baseball star that used to be with the Blue Jays and is now with the Angels, Ronnie Wells. So I just wanted to show you just a brief, a few pictures so you can see some of the work that we've done over the years and get you an idea of the scope of the company. Something else I wanted to talk to you about is just acknowledge that this program and this presentation, originally I put it together a few years ago for the AIA Custom Residential Architects Network, which is a knowledge community. I don't know if you might be familiar, some of you might be familiar with it. It's fairly new knowledge community. We branched off from housing. Housing has been a knowledge community that has been part of the AIA for decades. But housing encompasses largely lots of apartments and multifamily firms. And the group of us that were custom residential was not necessarily a small group, but we didn't have much of a voice, so we founded about 6 years ago this Custom Residential Architects Network. So I wanted to acknowledge and recommend that you, if you're interested in residential, there's some great resources there. So if you go to the AIA website, there's lots and lots of content that could be very helpful. Additionally, I wanted to mention that I put together this presentation in the convention for the last couple of years, and let's see, it was in New Orleans a couple of years ago and in DC last year. Very well attended. And then this year, it's hard to get some of these courses to go to the national convention, but it's been very well received nationally. And we're putting together this year for Denver pre-convention workshop. So if you're interested on kind of moving to the next level of this kind of presentation, I highly recommend you sign up for this pre-convention pre-convention program. Give me a second, let me put in my time here. And to tell you a little bit about it, we have 4 people that are going to be presenting this. There's going to be 4 design-build firms that will be presented this. It's going to be James Walbridge from San Francisco, Peter Polimas here from the Northeast in the Cape Cod area. He's got a tremendous firm of very high-end homes. Whereas James and also Stuart Noriski is going to be presenting with me on this pre-convention workshop. It's going to last about 4 hours, so I really recommend. It's going to be sort of an advanced level design build for residential. Another thing that I want to mention to y'all is this PeerNet program that is just beginning to take off. I'm also involved at the AIA, with AIA at the national level. What this is a group of contacts that we're trying to establish for firms that have similar kind of practice. So we'll be put together, gathering about 5 or 8 firms that would be committing to spend some time to share knowledge with one another. And so if you're interested, it's going to be kicked off at the convention, and just see me after the program. I can give you some more information. I can give you one of my cards, so I can send you some more information on that. It's probably still not on the website at the AIA, but look for it in the next few months. Excuse me. And definitely by the convention, we'll have that going. So I really encourage you to sign up for that. Probably the spots will be filling up. I'm putting together a group of this for Deisgn-Build, for instance, that we have that in common. So again, if you're interested, see me after the program. Why don't you run into the presentation today. It's kind of a 5-part presentation. I'm going to be talking about the different types of design-build and how different ways it could be approached, design-build. Why get involved in design-build if you're interested, and some of the advantages, what's so great about it, and also kind of a how-to on how to get it started, and also lastly some of the challenges that we will find in approaching this. Here are some of the learning objectives from today, which is kind of part of the requirements. But basically, I'll be expanding on the subjects on a how-to of design-build. I'm going to move on to here. This is kind of a sort of an anecdotal thing that I came across in a book that I was reading about production. Actually, this particular book was on design-build, but it was in a more generic way. And this caught my attention because this was a statement that was made about the construction industry. And it says no other important industry responsibility from design is so far removed from the responsibility of production. If you think back about the production of different products, the design process and the construction or the implementation is very closely connected. In any other kind of production, you have it in place. In the construction industry, and again, I'm going to be referring largely here about the residential part of things. This is a residential course. And in the residential area, the split between architects and home builders is just, it's just huge. Just a little bit on definitions, and just a reminder for us architects on what the word architect comes from. It comes from the Greek archi, which is the overseer, the person in charge is overlooking, also a carpenter, and which is tekton. And the combination of both of those, if you think about it, it doesn't really has a definition of design per se. in addition to the work, but just the person that it is guiding and putting together the larger process, the word architect. You know, also historically, and I was visiting with somebody here in the audience earlier about the concept of how in so many other parts of the world, design-build is kind of an automatic and it's kind of a common occurrence, where here in the United States we have you know, a separation a little bit more of the design discipline and the construction discipline. I'm originally from Mexico and I was born and raised over there, came to college here, and you know, when I arrived to architecture school, I always thought that I was coming to learn how to design and build, and so I think that's one of the things that influenced my approach to continue in that direction. I wanted to also mention here about some of the players that you will find in the business. You know, the design-build industry, it's really just taken off, as many of you know, both in the commercial and in the residential area. Unfortunately, architects are not participating as much, and there's been other people in the residential area that are beginning to do this design-build firms. As a matter of fact, it's almost beginning to have a little bit of bad connotation to architects about the design-build firms, as it is more dominated by builders, and in many instances other entities in the design industry or in the delivery of homes. And so many of these folks will be probably moving to that direction, and I feel that we as architects are probably better prepared and better positioned